Right, there we go. So, for those listening, it is episode 8 of the TTT Talking the Tale Blunders in the Tundras. To let off last one, which was episode 7, you heard us talking about the fight in the Slavers Pit, where a number of interesting things happened. The most important for the story at large going forward was the fact that magic decided to go away for near enough half a minute, which doesn't seem a lot, but in the middle of combat, and when you consider how much of worlds in D&D rely and run on magic, it was a pretty significant thing. Starting with session 31, you guys you were all outside. You'd managed to capture Aper, the leader of these slavers, and guards were being called and brought. I'll allow whoever wishes to start from there, and I'll kind of chip in as and when.
I was also captured far more politely, to be fair.
You was very politely captured. More of a, do you want to come with us? And you kind of said, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so once we'd got outside and made sure that Aper had been contained, we then, the guards came running. We told them, go and secure in there. There's lots of monsters.
Yeah.
Cass then did some sending spells far and wide to see if anybody had noticed magic getting turned off.
Which I believe all of the messages you sent, Rose, you got a no. She sent message to Joseph.
Yeah.
To Morgan. So we estimated that it hadn't got further than the continent, possibly, because Joseph was a little bit further. And then we had a chat with the cleric that arrived, and he said it was getting to the top of...
Yeah, he sent...
Yeah, no, went as far as... Yeah. I think it was.
He sent a message saying... He sent a message to a colleague further south in Havilter, and he said it was affecting the northern
part of the town, but not the entire town. So pretty much Havilter was on the border, which kind of then gave you a radius that went as far as the northern shores and as south as Havilter.
Yeah. So whatever happened within this region.
Yes.
And then we then rested, we reconvened, and tried to decide on our next move. As people keep jumping in and out, or is that me?
It's Liam.
That's Liam.
Yeah. I've internet problems, sorry. He kind of kicked me out and put me back in the game.
Liam, you are internet problems.
Liam, you are problems.
Aww.
But
I was
trying to decide like the next sort of steps, where to, what next.
Yep. And we spent the entire session deciding that we had this map of the locations that we'd got from Penelope, that she had taken from Sola, that Cass had decoded.
Mm-hmm.
And it was decided we were going to try and make an effort to stop them. What they were doing, it seemed they were focusing efforts to search for something in the south. And there was a debate as to whether or not we were going to go south to try and stop them there, or try and raid the base that was close by to raid the location to the north,
which was just north of Dunvars, the mountains.
Yeah. So it was in the mountains, and at the end of the session, it was decided we decided in the end we were going to go to the mountains, and thorough debate on how we were going to get there and what we were going to do ensued. Eventually deciding at the start of episode 32 that we were going to take Derek on a 4-day trip round, and then we were going to use as many spells as we could to get as close as we could to the mountains and make a 4-day trip down to a day and a bit.
Yeah. Which-
giant eagles or whatever they were.
Yeah, which you guys did. It took a few spells, and a bit taxing on your crazy
On our
local
druid.
druid, but was
Mm.
worth it in the end. You guys noticed that the entire mountain was not as it seemed. There was a giant fucking illusion looming over the entire cap of the mountain, with
Which,
bright
Yep.
illuminating lights of different colours protruding and polluting the skies themselves, which couldn't be seen from the outside.
Mhm.
And I know there was plenty of what the fuck going around in people's heads, and it was
Just a
interesting.
bit.
It was interesting watching you guys' tick, because it was like watching you guys trying to figure out what it was interesting. I did enjoy that.
yeah, we
See,
spent.
We
Go on.
I was about to say, figuring out how much of it. It's like, okay, well, what is that, and how does this base work? And absolutely convinced it was going to be like a big infiltration mission that we were going to have to do.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
probably spent an IRL hour and a half planning how best to infiltrate a base that we then found out had been blown up.
Oh,
It wasn't there anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was quite funny, because like I'm sat there knowing that the base was like literally torn asunder, and you guys are like, right, we'll infiltrate, we'll do this, and I'm there like, you don't need
Yeah.
to, guys.
I was about to say the base.
Just
Yeah, I was
walk
about to
in.
say the base was like one temple on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
We're thinking, given the size of the illusion, it's the entire fucking mountain.
I mean, it
It's-
might have been the mountain until it got blown the heck up.
That is true.
Yeah, but it was
We
just like
didn't
the.
see it in its heyday.
Yeah, but we thought like it was a complete like a full like Warren network of secret tunnels and passages all through the mountain. Like it'd take us days to explore everything. Is what we were thinking, and trying to think of the fastest way we could get out. It's see those ruins up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
They came from those ruins up there, as we found out.
Yeah, when you were seeing like these giant charred like patches where I think some of you were thinking it was like arcane cannons and like
Fire-
First,
we,
yeah,
we-
yeah,
we were
I
thinking
thought
it was
it was.
fireball. We were thinking it was fireball practice.
Yeah, no, it was more
The roof that blew off.
the roof is on fire. It
Yeah.
was literally fucked. Like, and so yeah, like you guys got there, and all that was left was the foundations that were about 5 foot off. Like they had like stairs in all directions that were about 5 foot up, and there was like these giant crystals giving off this amber light, and one man, an
Biddy.
angel,
Mm-hmm.
as you saw an avatar, an aspect, a fragment, however people wish to describe it. There's many ways. Of
We all
mist.
went with Avatar. You're the one who keeps putting every other description on it, Danny.
Yeah, I know,
But
but
it was a muscle wizard.
I'm doing it more for because
This is the angel.
the people listening, because other people may do it differently. And yeah, that like hands down. I know some of you really liked it. Like I enjoyed that combat like someone else. Like it was
Yeah.
sweet.
But it was getting it even. We sorted. It was like, okay. It's like, oh, that's a. When we first saw the map and everything, and he's like, oh, those are some big gems. Oh god, that's a big monster. That little guy's got no chance.
Yeah.
Oh, the little guy's holding that one in. Oh
Yes.
shit! And then
The
you
little
drop,
guy's controlling the big guy.
or at least stopping them, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, can you roll religion checks? Yeah, you're pretty certain that's Mistra.
Yeah. It was definitely not. I don't think it was definitely what not most of you were expecting. Like I know. Even take away the okay. It's not a stealth mission. It's gonna be more of an expedition. I don't think any of you were ever expecting what was there, was you?
No.
I
then
was
this-
expecting a base raid with maybe Solistranza as like the capstone of like the proper dungeon delve.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
We finally get through all the stuff, and it's like, haha, we've managed to do this. Ah, but I'm only the 5th boss. No, turns out we got 4 instead.
Yeah, because obviously you guys are starting to figure out now that the numbers are essentially rank and power. The lower being the stronger, and you guys are aware that Solostranza is 5, and this bodybuilder wizard,
Muscle wizard.
a muscle wizard technically, he was number 4. This one that was holding a fragment of a god in its place, with the help of some extremely, extremely powerful and expensive crystals. And I know there was you guys, he was paying you guys no attention because like it required pretty much everything he had to keep this fucking thing in place. Like he was barely holding on. And you guys set up and
He
decided
scouted everywhere to make sure he had no bodyguards at all.
nope.
Mhm.
And he was at least at the top of the mountain alone.
Yep.
You guys went, oh, I'm
Sneak
gonna,
attack.
I'm
Yep.
gonna fuck him.
Yep. We hit him as hard as we could, and then
As we
the-
could.
the gems shattered.
Instantly.
Shattered instantly. Mistra was freed. And I do admit that my entire thing of when I ran up, like, the gem shattered, I ran up behind him to try and grapple or pin him. Like, not realizing at the time what Danny was using as the avatar of Mistra, I thought this was, like, something powerful. I was fully expecting just a laser beam of magic to disintegrate everything
Yeah.
in front of it. So I did run up with the absolute thought of just like, I'm going to hold this person and I'm going to be like 3rd episode of Dragon Ball Z Goku, just instant dead in order to kill the bad guy.
Yeah, kind of like do the self-sacrifice like spiel.
Just like hold him there, he's going to be fine. And then Mistra's just like, I have mace.
A big glowing angelic mace of amazingness.
Yes, it was very amazing, especially when the fight came round and, you know, hit him a couple of times. It was all very nice and interesting. Everybody
Mate.
was...
The combat was fucking mental. Like the damage output on 4 was stupid. Like it was way higher than I ever anticipated, and I anticipated pretty fucking high numbers. But with how we
And then
did
he stopped
crittals-
time. Then he just stopped time and healed back up.
Yeah, as he had some cleric crystals that he popped every single cure wounds he could on himself.
Mm.
So it's like legendary action lightning bolt was the first thing he did once he could do something.
Yeah,
As Vian, first action of combat, just told him to hold. Just halt. Just don't do anything. Okay.
yeah, Vian did real fucking well in.
I don't
yeah.
think I whiffed a single, like, actual important spell. Like, my cantrips were completely terrible, but I think everything else landed through magical resistance, through just everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
every control, everything.
yeah, no, and like towards the tail end of the fight as well, Solomon, as you found his name out to be later, had a friend join.
Not before.
Number
Should we mention that the aspect of Mistra was also attacking just whoever was closest?
Yeah, no, that is a fair point. Because the Avatar was in such a blind rage because of being messed with. It was the rules as written, as per my notes, was whatever is nearest that is not it will
Not
get
Evan.
full attack.
Most of it.
It was Evan's birthday. He got gifted his age in D8s.
Yeah, I kept getting the... Yeah, so I had to stand there, take all of the hits from
A god.
a god, having to keep the god occupied, whilst number 4 very charitably decided he'd focus all of his attention on Cass.
Yeah, did one of the dastardliest things like a BBG can do, and downed your healer, your one and only healer, or at least devoted healer. Like there are people,
Our primary
It's not the
healer.
most dastardly thing, and he can't really be counted as a BBG. The most dastardly thing is the counterspell Revivify.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be a healing.
But
as
no,
well.
but yeah,
no.
like banishing your dying friend to let fate and the dice decide.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Damned
Yeah.
on death saves and then banished so we can do fuck all about it
Mhm.
was
Wow.
terrifying. It was
Oh,
terrifying for the
come
people who
on.
weren't down. It's like, oh shit.
It was great. Like,
I love how
Oh,
I love how you're saying that was yeah, it's like it was a scary moment, but I love how you're the one who's saying that was terrifying. Mister never took a single fucking hit.
Yep.
it's
I got a fight with
means
you.
something to you guys that you were terrified that she might die. It's really sweet,
Yeah.
Mike.
It's
Oh, you
that.
know.
The fact
Because
I
when
got-
when everyone else is dead, he's going to then turn and come after me.
Tabaxi monk.
Okay, I take that back.
You should
stop-
be taking damage before the
fun.
bard.
Yes, you
The
are a
princess
frontline fighter.
bard.
Yeah,
I'm a hit and run. That's what I do.
yeah.
Troy likes
but-
doing.
but yeah, and so during this, like I said, number 3 turned up
After 4 was downed.
after 4 was down, but not dead at the time. Was very quickly dealt with, and she seemed to be stronger than 4, but with different abilities entirely. And again, like I just didn't like this. The strength of the people you were against, and you guys at the level you are, I did not expect the fight to go well. I was expecting we need to leave. This is going terrible. And
7 level 6s effectively.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you eventually found out through various abilities that were curious to find out that 3 was not a wizard, but a fucking green dragon, an adult one as well.
Yep.
And you guys still didn't back their phone. You still pressed.
Okay. To be fair, by the time we found out about it being a green dragon, half the party was down because it hit us with poison breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was at about that point you guys figured something was up.
It was like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we've already started hitting it.
yeah. By that point, we'd already done that. Yeah, most of us were afraid, and are just like, okay, how can we do this? Because I'd spent the entire back after my first row of attacks against number 4, doing stupid amounts of damage. I then just had to stand there and try and convince the angel to stop hitting us for
Yeah,
the rest of the fight.
which not easy.
Not easy. I got knocked, ended up getting knocked down after the cleric was gone, and it's like, well, this does not look well for our party.
But this is what I said. She's not the only healer in the sense that she's the only one that can cast healing spells, because
Nope.
it was Vianne that got you up in a bit of an epic moment for her.
Oh, yeah, I'm Battle Commander Vianne going off there.
Yeah, fucking High Command Vianne just fucking moving
like,
the
you-
chess pieces.
Yeah, moving the enemy's chess pieces around. It's like, you come here, you get back up.
Yeah, it was interesting and it was good.
Then, 3 showed up, hit us with the fear, and we're all like, okay, we're scared and we're probably going to run, but first, deny them the wizard.
No.
And you did
Yeah.
kill Solomon there and then. Although she was very dissenting towards him anyway, almost as
Oh,
if, even if he could have, probably wouldn't have got up.
As players, we did not want him back on the board.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is fair. And the combat eventually went to you guys, and you guys won. Surprisingly handily, but I am sure that if they'd have all got 1 turn extra each, it would have. It was literally you stopped it just at the moment it was going to turn really fucking sour for you guys.
If the dragon had landed a single turn sooner, I think we would have just instantly TPK'd then and there.
I don't think you'd have
Yeah, maybe.
TPK'd, but there would have definitely
Well-
have been some losses.
We would have lost at least Cass and Evan, and then whoever successfully retreated if they didn't chase us, and they would still have control over Mistra.
That is true. And
I do think we were a turn away from danger.
no, I
Which I
agree.
think the best fights are, is that it was, if Greytail hadn't have killed the dragon, Cass was dying, and probably Evan as well, depending on how
yeah.
things went.
I mean, no, you'd still got your go before then. There was,
Right, yeah.
I think there was 3 people left to go before the dragons go.
There was some shit rolling. It would have been over then.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
rolled a good initiative, because I think
It was
initiative
close,
6.
is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but it was yeah.
Would have been Rose, Deer, I think, and maybe Persephone. I'd have to double check where the initiative.
There was
was.
a few people bunched
Boomer.
up in that corner. Yeah.
I think Boomer and Persephone could have got a shot off before the dragon, if need be.
I
But
don't
we
know.
also didn't know
I
how
thought
close
it
she
was
was.
Dragon's turn. It was
Yeah.
Dragon's turn after Greytail.
No,
We might need a clarification on this. We might need someone to
No.
quickly check the game.
oh no, it's. I still remember that was like Greytail. Yeah, it was Vian, me, Greytail, you all sat at the bottom of the turn order,
Yeah, we were in this
and
little pile.
the dragon got like third in the order, so it's still got.
Had a few photos in it.
So it's got. After it put you in the threat basically and used its last legendary, it had got
Okay.
my attack.
I knew there was
Greytail.
maybe a turn, but I thought it was really close.
Yeah,
like
no, it's
I
not.
was.
It was
Okay.
extremely close still. Like I said, I
Yeah.
reckon if that dragon had have had one more turn,
Oh yeah.
it would have been bad. But
Oh yeah, we'd have lost someone if
Oh,
the
I
dragon had had
remember
one more
now
turn.
why I was panicking. Legendary actions. It had legendary actions as well. I think that's where
Yeah.
my uncertainty of what was in the thing was coming from.
yeah.
It
Like, I
had
think I
one left.
But the day was
Yeah.
yours eventually, and
Yeah, we
Mistra
kicked that.
was sated after some interesting methods and some good skill checks. And you guys kind of realised that you'd just killed 3 and 4 in the same combat. You had denied them the god that they had shackled. You had also gained the attention of Mistra herself through this avatar, and
But
were
most
granted
important- yeah.
a request.
Yep, but
Each.
most importantly, we also gained a level up.
Nah.
Level?
What's this wee business?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
that is a point. Vian did not level up.
Boo.
Well, she joined technically at 7. She just has shit for HP.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
she technically joined a level higher because I always make the NPCs a little stronger than the party just because I like to make
They
them...
aren't meant to be around.
Yeah.
Make them feel welcome and interesting, and then they can
Yeah,
bugger off.
yeah. No,
But we
Yeah,
just went,
she-
"Stay."
That didn't happen.
No,
that's the point.
We saw what happened to the last ones, and we were like, no, we must save you.
You're staying.
The others
That
don't
was
need
still,
saving.
as a player, that was the sweetest, cutest thing that's literally ever happened. Because, like, from my perspective, it's like, oh yeah, my character survived. That's neat. Okay, I'm done now, but oh, everyone's shouting at me to stay.
No,
Okay.
see what it does to your character if you leave. Don't.
I mean, yeah, if she'd fallen into like the big bad's hands, that would have probably been.
Oh, yeah, I mean, with what we've seen now, you falling into Vian falling into the bad guy's hands is terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. In her guest campaign, it was like a coin toss of like depending on how the party interacted with her, she might have felt slighted and helped the bad guys. And if magic was on,
Yeah. Yeah, that was one thing that obviously has never really been discussed. Me and Ashley were discussing the fact that depending on how you treat her, she could have flipped to either side of the board. And that's one thing that I've never said until now. Like, yeah, like she could have easily have just gone like, you guys are assholes. No, fuck
It
you.
could have been an enemy.
Yeah. So it was a good thing that because although she was at a slaver's do, if you'd have treated her with that prejudice and probably had been a bit mean to her, you probably would have had an enemy instead of a friend.
Cool.
Which is interesting. But yeah, you were all granted a request, and do people remember what their requests were?
On the nice column?
It was.
Nice one, of course.
Which
And
you
we-
technically got an answer to. You know the location of not a living ice golem, but the remains of one that was slain some years ago.
Which will burn later.
Yeah.
Is anyone else?
I wanted nothing, so I got nothing.
got
At
the
the
worst
time.
backstory.
Yeah, and then as
you
it
got
left-
nothing. You got your But
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
I asked
as it-
him
I mean, what,
nothing and got a backstory.
what's technically funny is thinking about it. Greytail probably got the most.
You did?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And then as it left, memories that aren't my own, but kind of it's turning out that maybe they are actually my own,
Yeah,
were implanted in my head, which is fun.
it's really, really good, man.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And we'll come
Dan
to
just
that.
asked for her funny
reveal
jokes
later.
back.
Well, we'll get to that because, like, like after the discussing this, like, there's a bit more that comes out about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
Oh, I
like,
did not mean to interrupt.
no, that's fine. Like, but if anyone else wants to explain what they asked for and what they got,
I asked for more information on the plot, basically, and I got told nothing more than what I already knew.
pretty much.
Like,
Boomer, I think you also asked
Boomer.
for something particularly interesting.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Materials or any ways of creating their
And
firearms.
the very cool mace that was pointed out by Michael was partially melted in the hands of the angelic being, and you were given a small amount, a large ingot of celestial metal in which to craft something. And that can be anything that you want to make. Any weapon, any armor. Like if, when Boomer is ready to make his thing, you can
Bad
do
News
so.
version 2.
What was that?
Bad News version 2.
You could do,
God.
but the issue is with that is no one's proficient in firearms.
Artificers technically are.
Are they?
Yep.
Ma.
I believe it's if they're in the campaign, artificers maybe, especially artillerists, which I believe Boomer is, but it's
Yeah.
very maybe and DM dependent and
Yes. It's sort of very if.
But that is a later problem for Boomer because obviously
That'll be it, yeah.
he's got plenty of magic items to be working on and stuff for now.
Oh yeah.
I will comment. Oh, good. I will comment. It was an idea I toyed around with of like asking potentially off screen. I ended up scrapping it. Of just Vianne asking the DM like, "Hey, guns are expensive, right? Can she just have one in her bag? Just like pull out a revolver mid combat while everyone else has." Like, what? I don't know how combat works. I just have one of these for self defense. Bang.
Boomer jaw just drop.
So anyway, I
He's
started
like,
drafting.
that would be the main thing of just how dare you, sir?
That
Well-
would be hilarious.
There's one. Let me go find the. It's from Disgaea, which chat can just Google if they want. But Rosalind from Disgaea is literally just have a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I
She is
see.
literally just a princess with like a little pea shooter revolver.
But yeah,
And that was the mental image I had of it. Would just be so funny to ask for, but
you all asked for various things, and the requests were granted within the realms of what was possible. For people, it was easy. Some it was more difficult. You eventually made your way back to the ship after the dragon. The dragon was taken for judgment. Solomon's body was cremated by you guys, and you ended up on the derrick. And things didn't quite go to plan, did they?
No.
As they never fucking do.
Exactly.
So we got back to the derrick, got him some food as he had not been able to provide for himself. Set orders to head to
Done fast.
Dunvast, and then woke up to find we were nowhere near shore.
Yeah, and
We're in the middle of the
what,
sea.
What tickled me was how many times I had to repeat myself and how blatant I had to be.
That's it, we noticed.
To like, because I said like 3 or 4 times in session, I can't remember exactly. You're used to following the shoreline on the derrick, and you wake up to ocean all around you, not a shore in sight, and it wasn't until Rose in character said we should be at town by now, and I'm like, but you're not. Until I had to basically point out you're meant to be, but you're not, guys. Something's wrong.
Like, I knew when you said it, it's like ocean all around. I was like, that doesn't sound right. But Evan's asleep at the moment because he stayed up late.
Now, me and Ash were having this conversation, and she noticed as well, but was sulking
Wasn't
in her
there.
room. What tickled me as well was rather than thinking something was wrong. Cass went and started interrogating Vianne, thinking she's done it.
She was being weird.
But that's what tickled me more than anything, was
Yeah.
because there's something wrong with the ship. Vianne. I fucking know.
Hey, bloody
I mean, the funniest part is I do believe at least some people saw the chat.
Yeah.
If you remember when she was fighting the dragon, she nat won her second fear check against the dragon after like a 3 on the first one. So I just like intentionally cherry picked a temporary madness of 10d10 hours of like whatever, and I just cherry picked paranoia.
Mhm.
And then she was just as a bard, perpetually using counter charm to try and mitigate the paranoia, which was why she was hiding, and why anytime anyone tried to talk to her, she dropped heroism on herself so she could have 60 seconds of no fear, so she could have a conversation without kind of breaking down.
Which is it's quite an awkward thing to do in RP, like stuff like that. But I thought it was done well. Like it was good. It was fun. It was definitely interesting. But yeah, but not only we were in open water, but Derek wasn't having a good time, was he? He was babbling incoherently and was just not having a good day, was he? Bless him.
No.
We did canonically get his voice.
You did, actually, yeah. You currently, Vianne, are the only person in existence to know what Derek's voice is. You are the only one. Because telepathic speak is pretty much the only way you can get it out of him, because he has no means of verbal speech otherwise. It came out that someone had altered his memories, came on the ship, planted some listening devices as well, which were also found and put away, not destroyed, but put in a place where they can't be used against you guys.
Yeah, back a holding.
Yeah, and a location was given. And the trigger point for all of this kicking off was, once Derek was given an order to go anywhere, it would be overwritten, and he would fall into a madness state with a devotion of going to a specific area, which was a spire in the middle of the ocean, and he knew how to get there but didn't know where it was. That was kind of his spiel, an issue.
So we were able to break him of that.
Because of MVP Vianne, like the last few sessions, man, like, because if it wasn't for Vianne, like stopping
We'd have been
him,
stuck.
you guys
Yeah.
would have probably have ended up wherever the boat was taking you.
Yeah.
I mean, we were not. I'd say we weren't not far from figuring out that he'd been charmed in some way. The second the detect magic would have gone off and found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Detect magic and dispel magic would have probably been fast enough, assuming, like they did have the spell save slots,
If we had
whatever.
it, yeah.
Well, the thing is, he saved so many times. I think it was like the penultimate one that failed.
The second
the
to last
dispel
one
magic.
passed with Bardic Inspiration. The third
Yes.
one would have passed anyway, but been the very last
Ah,
cast.
yeah, you're right.
I just want to wonder now, and it's a stupid thought that's just come up, but given that that the Derek is a mimic
Yes.
and therefore is a creature,
Hmm.
could Greytail stun him?
Yes.
Great Hell punches the bow.
No,
Bow
no.
make a con save.
Technically, yes, because
Stunning strike would work.
and this is what creates a lot of interesting things. Because the boat is a creature and not a construct, it is affected by many and all effects and spells from classes and things alike. Yep.
You cannot prone the ship, though.
No, you cannot
No,
prone
I
the
don't.
ship.
Well, I can, but we don't want to be on it when I do it.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be not a good
Bad.
idea.
I love how the idea of I've got the idea now of you just leg sweeping the ship.
He like sweeps the ship and then it capsizes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But what the Derek would do is just reform his shape, so the hull's then on the bottom, so you just watch him like do fucking pretzel himself.
He can probably
Convert
flip
himself.
over anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny if just.
It is doable.
It is entirely doable.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but it's doable. So we were able to do that, able to get to Vast, and we were able to figure out sort of where we think the spire is.
Yeah, and I know Cass wants to kind of like force the trap and kind of like, let's fucking go there. Let's like meet him on doorstep sort of thing.
As it is possibly believed that the person who came aboard to cast all of these spells would have been our little data friend.
Possibly, because
we know they had 2 legs and hooves.
And the
So
magic
some
that was used,
some of us believe it's
the magic that was used was divine in nature, and given some stupidly high religion rolls and arcana rolls, it's a base level domain, as in like it's nothing complex. So things like instruments and poetry is a no because it's complex, but very base in nature, like an element or something like that.
A very primal thing.
Yeah.
Yes, like the sky or water or nature.
Yeah. To something like that degrees, yeah.
So we were able to do that, and
I know
we were able to determine.
The plan is to potentially go back to this spire and kind of be like, all right, because at least going there with preparedness and stuff is a lot better than like having like surprise. You know what I mean? And it's kind of go and see what the fuck was planned, who it is, because there's a number of factions it could be as well, not just necessarily 1 or 2, and there's a lot of potential options, and it's kind of just hoping it's good, or at least something that's manageable, I'd imagine, for you guys.
Yep. So we went to Dunvast and we did some shopping, and then we had a couple of options choices that needed to be made. We went and spoke to, I believe, a blacksmith was contacted, and a few things were made or planned to be made.
A few things were ordered, one of which was studded leather armor upgrade for Persephone, which is going to take a couple of hours, nothing too strenuous.
Yep.
Another option
was a bed frame was made,
and some
In an aquarium frame, not bed frame.
same thing, because it's your bed.
Well, no, because she has like a people bed and she's building her aquarium because
I thought you were using this aquarium as a bed.
No, because she still had the base frame from the previous town for like actual like bed stuff. She just didn't have anything to fill it, but she did also pick up off camera. That was fun. I actually mathed out how much silk is per square foot and how big blankets are on average, and then
can't say it's not accurate.
Resolve gold cost.
And then, so yeah, and plate mail was ordered for 2 weeks down the line.
I tried, Evan.
Yeah. Like we said, it's not like Danny's gonna do. It's not like the session's gonna happen and then just mysteriously the session the day before the plate mail is done, does something kill me?
You can guarantee it's gonna fucking
You'll
happen.
die to a crit. You will die to a crit specifically.
But one other thing of interest, or at least I know Michael specifically was interested when you went to see Persephone.
Penelope.
Thank you.
Stephanie travels with us.
Yeah. Well, there was some trades being offered and things for the amber that was taken from the Mistra encounter, but I know you particularly are now curious about a couple of aspects, particularly about Penelope.
Wait, was that a slip of the tongue? Is Persephone also a Penelope? Was that the...
Shit, spoilers! We weren't supposed to tell them that bit yet.
Shut the fuck up. I swear to God, you insolent child.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
no,
so
but Michael,
Danny's,
if you want to explain that.
Oh yeah, so we went and visited Penelope. The trades was offered for the amber. A few items were offered. Tentacle rods.
Which you guys are going to be taking.
Are we?
According to Dear, you are.
I believe Dia
But
was
who's
not
gonna buy that?
I believe the idea was we were going to try and put the funds together to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's gonna buy it?
And-
Who's gonna take
okay.
it?
And
Okay.
and we were going to accept the offer for the third item, which would be to make to adamantine a set of armor,
Yeah.
which would be the plate armor that would be delivered.
Mhm.
So the plate armor would be completed, delivered to Penelope,
Yeah.
would then be made adamantine plate armor,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would have that. But during that time, a few comments were made about armor and other things, and Penelope made mention to the scars upon Evan's back.
And for those that are taking notes, it was the scars that were dealt by the Remoraus back in episode 17 in Frosselgar,
Mhm.
where realistically she has no right to know.
She has absolutely no way to know, and if she does, that's something different.
Curious.
Very curious, and I am, and Evan is very curious as to how she knows this. Now, admittedly, earlier in the session, Evan had been walking around with no top on, but that was miles offshore. And when he got back to town, after the Remoraz attack, the armor had been fixed.
Yes. Yes, it had.
To Boomer's irritation.
Yeah, because it was Clarissa had fixed it for you. Basically, she kind of like piggybacked you, didn't she, as you were walking and fixed it with mending? If I
Yep.
remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Followed up behind, did that, and then we did the whole tumble into the void below, basically.
But yeah, like I know Michael, like your back was immediately fucking up off that, and that's what tickles me.
Because there's no way she should know, and if she does, there's something wrong there.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh no.
It's fine.
I'm getting a very distinct feeling that there will be another visit made to Penelope, and it will be how do you know this? And Danny's just going to spring out, right, can you go into Whispers as you have a one-on-one combat against all of the Penelopes?
Yay.
The harem he didn't envisage, but the harem he got. Yes. But no, yeah, like it was interesting because I know I've been hearing some theories in and out of session, and I want to like because obviously this is a bit of a conspiracy theory because you guys don't know either way, but yeah, because I know a couple of conspiracy theories have been going around. One that I can't remember who said it. I think it was you, Michael, that said Penelope was like secret number one.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one about the 1 and 2 being dragons to match number 3. Wasn't there also one about Sola technically actually being number 1 but hiding as number 5 or something like that, if I remember right?
No,
Or did I hear
that's
something
remember that
similar to that
no,
one?
no, no. That's your own idea that you're just trying to float out there as a disguise. So is that true? Solar is truly one.
No, shit, I genuinely thought someone had come up with that.
I think mine was that Penelope was bottom rung and was trying to help us close out her competition above her so she could promote up.
That's another theory and an interesting one.
It's
And
good,
then-
like...
Yeah.
The thing is, whether you guys are right or wrong, I like the conspiracy theories because it proves two things to me. One, you guys pay attention for the most part. And not only that, but it makes me feel like you're invested in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you guys then are thinking about things because you're listening to so much. And the thing is, and Ash will tell you, there is so many intricate details and clues that I give that none of you pick up on and bite you in the ass later. But there's still so many that you still do pick up on, and it's cool to see because, like I said, it shows you guys give a shit to a degree.
It was really funny seeing the episode where Joseph is like, oh yeah, the big bads are trying to kidnap Mistra and control her for superpowers. And the party's like, oh man, good luck with that. And then 3 sessions later, we're fighting
Sorry.
Mistra.
Yeah, because this
So
was like
it's-
this was like episode like 21 or something. This happened because she episode stamped it because Ash watches a lot of the episodes back, and she was like, "Wait, you told them about this? Why didn't they act on it?" And I'm like, "Oh." Because my issue is the way my head works is unless I've got to remember it for future episodes, once I hand out information, I tend to forget it very easily, which is why a beauty having these episodes online is perfect, so I can go back and watch any time I need to. And yeah, she was just telling me, like, I can't believe they didn't fucking pick up on it. It's like, it happens. But now you've got Ash, so now there's no excuse. So Ash, if they miss, you've got to be on them.
Oh no, because see, that's why I'm playing the 8-9 Wiz Princess Bimbo. Like, I can see these as a player and just be like, nah, Vian has no clue what's going on. She just sits there.
Yeah. No, it's just like, oh no, yeah, it's like, oh, you miss all these plot points. Yeah, we know we miss all these plot points, but you're now participating in us missing this plot points. I also imagine Vian is just going to be there, just like, one of us figures out, like, it's this all along, and shh, don't spoil the story. Mind wipe.
I don't have Modify Memory yet. Am I going to use it religiously once I have it? Probably.
Yeah.
Though apparently it's very common in this world, having your mind wiped.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, and it's also so good it does more than 10 minutes.
Well, the thing is, though, Gray, you didn't have your mind wiped. You basically had a wall put around a collection of memories.
And then fake ones put in. Or
Is that what that
No. You had no fake ones put in. It was just you basically had a good chunk of your mind just blanked.
Actual thought here, I actually, when I first heard it, initially believed it to be alternate timeline memories based on previous campaigns.
I did, yeah.
Could be.
I don't know if anybody else's brain went there. I was just like,
I kind of went there and then thought, well, we got a bollocking the last time we did that, so I doubt.
No, I tried to open the multiverse, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
No, just more of like the memories bled through and he remembered a happy life he would have had, if not whatever snowballed effect here.
But
Yeah, that's what I thought when it first happened. Yeah.
But should we actually talk about that more, like your memories, Greg? Because I was gonna say we didn't touch on it at all, and Rose hasn't spoke a lot either, so I think it'd be perfect because obviously Rose helped you. As we're talking now about. Let's delve into the shit that you've been finding out, like, because basically since Mistra gave you a bit of a little touch on the back, you've been having some weird dreams and stuff, ain't you?
Yeah, confusing dreams, but they're pleasant and kind of my mind is accepting them. So I found a scroll. This is as soon as we got back on the boat, I went to sleep. The next morning, I found a scroll that fell out of my robes that had never been there before. Mm-hmm. So I went to Cass, got it checked for magic, and it was completely safe. So on reading it, it was from a orphanage that I'd stayed in for probably not very long, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine you probably stayed there a couple of years, and once you were physically able, you ran away.
Yeah,
as you
escaped.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, conspiracy theories. Oh, carry on. Sorry, I've got a bunch of them of what it might be.
Well, this is why we do these talks, like, because I like listening to them as the DM because it's interesting to see how close or far off from the truth you guys are, and I just like hearing you guys talk about the game in general. But go on, carry on.
Yeah, so it was from an orphanage saying it was basically an apology for me not liking being there, and also saying about how I have some inheritance waiting for me when I'm of age.
Your father's estate, yeah.
And something about a terrific accident or something. Something about how my...
Yeah.
Tragic, yeah.
the reason how you came to be in the orphanage was because your family had become upon a terrible accident. It wasn't outlined,
No.
but I'm sure there's probably more you can press. But it was the orphanage in Fjaldomore. You have to go and visit. That's a. It's going to be an interesting.
So we need to go.
Grey.
Yeah.
You
Need to go see what that is.
Arbanum as well.
Yeah, Arbanum has the ice golem.
Yeah, and the alchemist school, and
Yeah.
Seems like Arbanum is going to be.
At one point.
Arbanum is going to have some interesting times for you guys. But go on, Rose. What are your conspiracy theories on this aspect?
Well, my current favourite is that it's an alternate timeline coming in, because that's pretty cool. You know, if Mistra is a god and can see between all timelines, but then it gets timey-wimey with really wobbly stuff.
Yeah.
Second one is Greytail is a sleeper agent. It's very convenient that suddenly he's finding things out. Especially when that scroll was in your robes, right? Either you're not changing your clothes as often as you should do, or
I mean, they are basically pajamas. I can sleep in them.
But you changed them that many times because remember we had to burn them after we were in.
I burned the original.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I reckon it's either been planted on you and.
then why on our ship?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
you're a sleeper agent and basically someone's giving you code words at the moment to start doing things. Do you know what I mean? Where you say something.
I know what you're on about. Yeah, because it's like an old CIA trick in it where like certain words trigger you to do certain things.
Yeah.
And somebody says cat, you punch them.
He's already been programmed.
He's already been programmed. Yeah, the cat thing.
Sorry, cat. Sorry.
Shit.
What have I done wrong now? I missed that.
He's programmed. When someone says cat, he punches.
He's already been programmed. The coding, it's already coming through.
Oh no.
Or another one is that this is still fake memories, but because of the power of Mistress, she's making it happen.
Making it real.
Yeah, so we are now splitting into a third alternative timeline. So first, prime timeline is Multizora Part 1. Second timeline is the one we've been playing in, and now we are splitting into third timeline.
Also, we made the joke about Earl Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a missed opportunity.
It's not. It's really not.
It really is.
But yeah, so it's found out that obviously, Greytail, your name is not yours technically.
Well, yeah. So I had Cass go into my brain and kind of look through the memories.
It seems that your family
Well,
name...
you did tell her as well. I was so tempted to say, I want to have a little bit of a look at some of the other ones, but I thought, no, that's not appropriate. Don't go in through people's memories. Even though I
see things you don't want to see.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like a little bit like morbid curiosity. Like sometimes you can't look away, you have to look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the Schrodinger's cat, that box would have been open within 3 seconds flat because I just would have wanted to see what had happened, even though I kind of didn't want to see. Do you know what I mean? Where you can't look away.
Yeah, but it's a train crash.
Yeah,
exactly.
But then at the same point, like, I've been thinking about it a little bit, actually, is they can't be really false memories, because at the end of the day, on that kind of power, even if Mistress created false memories, how would the actual scroll got into your pockets? Unless...
Put it there.
What?
All of that could be just like rewrite. Yeah, she could have just literally just rewritten and job done.
That's why I think this isn't a rewrite or whatever. I think it is an alternate timeline, technically, because she's made it real. Do you know what I mean? I'm more leaning towards that one. Though the, pulling in the memories from the other side has happened before. But still, this doesn't take us away from the fact that Matt's backstory was so lacking, the DM made him one. Like...
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that literally what it was. Like, he gave me nothing, so I made him a backstory. Damn it.
You do that.
And
You
he's
story
taking
literally
the miss out.
don't column. Sorry. That's
It
literally
was
backstory.
you say
column.
sentences though, Liam, of there's an ice golem, I'm after it. Like, is that what it was? I created a country, for Christ's sakes.
I created a nice column.
With Michael, we created it together, but still.
I did mine all
I'm
by
not doing that
myself.
for money.
But
I
no,
enjoyed
like,
the ice golem.
there are some interesting things coming up, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
No, it's the main thing is though. It's gonna be real interesting if Mistra had the power and the inclination to move an entire timeline over, so Greytail can get some good
Happy
memories.
memories.
Get some good memories and a happy childhood and everything. But she
bit-
won't tell me the damn plot. She doesn't have enough power to tell us what the fuck's going on, but she reaches across timelines which have already been banned from doing by other gods.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
give him a new. He's like, I will bend the laws of physics for you, but to save myself, fuck you.
That would, you know what?
There's a cat lady.
That would be fucking amazing. Like, I never thought of it like that, but if that is actually like the case, that is hilarious.
Sorry, this is kind of a bit going out there then at this point. Based on what Michael's just said, I didn't realise the gods had told each other off for changing reality.
Oh, we all got screamed at when we broke reality the last time.
Yeah, you do.
The druid, the druid that was with us. The druid that was with us at the time got appointed as the guardian of fixing the fucking hole.
Yeah, got appointed as go fix the mess you made, or so help me.
So
So
yes.
yeah, for those who don't know, well, we have mentioned it multiple times. There's two timelines effectively happening at the same time. It's weird. Don't question it. It's happening.
Yeah.
But they hold off. There's essentially like a tear in the fabric where the two timelines are interacting because these guys pulled the deck of many things and pulled a card. The usual game-breaking nonsense.
Yeah, of course.
I just thought I should explain because I don't know if we've ever actually explained that in this world there is a massive hole in the fabric of space and reality.
Too much massive. I mean, it's had.
Well, the
about
thing
30
is, as
years.
well,
That's where
it is being fixed. It is being fixed slowly by one
And-
person.
Slowly.
And it has had some help of the people who were on the wrong. Some of the people who were on the wrong side are now back on the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do have a arcane arcanist poking it repeatedly, like
Oh,
give
no.
me magic.
Don't poke the big hole. No.
Yeah, but
This is recorded, Liam.
Yeah.
like Liam cares.
Yeah, Liam doesn't care.
Sorry.
Liam would have said worse.
Don't poke the big time hole.
There we go. Well, still commas are needed some there.
Either way, it is certainly setting up to be interesting. Like, because like I said as well, and I've said to a few of you out of character and out of session and stuff. Like, there's still so much that you guys are yet to breach. Like, I'm really proud of the world I've made so far, because
we should be.
the first campaign, while it's nostalgia and I will always like it, it was bad. It was poorly written. There was a lot that could, but and the same.
It was the tutorial island.
The same with Multisora. I enjoyed it, and I'll never not enjoy it. But it was not great. Whereas this, I'm actually enjoying it, and I'm proud of it at the same time. So
I think it was just based on what had happened in the first campaign, which, like you said, was your first campaign. You started running only like a couple of months after you started playing D&D, so you know, a huge jump. And you're doing really well. Obviously, you did the right thing, which is asked for help. You just got Michael, and Michael killed us all. We TPK'd.
Yay.
So Yeah.
It took me
Then we were
3
like-
times to join to kill you guys off.
I know, but the
And
first
the first-
time you killed a bunch of people around us, the second time you
I
kidnapped
did not
them,
kill. I did not kill anybody in that.
Okay, you did, because you told us something.
I like Michael's immediate defense. Was I didn't kill anybody. Fuck you.
Oh, it's like when Danny says that we're harming the bad guys or whatever.
Oh wait,
Oh.
no,
You know what you
no,
did? You was
I
being
didn't.
evil
I
actions.
did not ever tell you a single. I did not tell you at all that those vials
I think the
could
fact that you're
heal.
to defend your actions means you did something bad. You know that, right? Like, as
No,
soon
no,
as you
no,
have to defend yourself,
I-
it means
I-
that you-
I am
we're not getting
no.
an argument about this, Michael, again. This has happened
Is,
too
is this
many
getting cut?
No, this
Yeah,
is not
no,
going to
Alright,
get cut.
Cass, Evan, go to your separate. Wait, no, you guys share a room.
Go to your separate rooms. Go to your separate beds.
Go to your
Look
separate
at
beds
me
and
on
look
the
away from
wall.
each other for a full hour.
But I think that was it. That's what kind of impacted Multisora quite a bit, because we obviously had Michael joining us at that stage, and it was meant to be a military-themed campaign. But I think because you set it in a desert, must have been quite restrictive for monsters and the
Yeah.
plot line. I actually thought Multisora was a brilliant story, to be quite honest. I know if you're saying
I
about
really
how
enjoyed it.
Yep.
it was really good.
Oh no, like I said, the
Um,
story was good. It was more the pacing and stuff I didn't enjoy of
It
Multisora.
was very quick.
Yeah.
A little
it was-
loady,
yeah.
but
I mean,
being a military game, it worked.
yeah,
Mhm.
military game. It was meant to be more combat focused and moving along. And like I
Yeah.
say, certain things helped.
Fine.
And certain things helped slow the pacing down a little bit. The anti-Michael squares.
Yep.
So, for the uninitiated into this crazy group, the anti-Michael squares are the squares on a map that shows the amount of distance that you've been travelled, because on a couple of occasions we clocked
In
that it was
continuity.
taking us more time to get there than to get back. And
Yeah,
to-
it took us 3 weeks to leave from one town to another, but then only a week to get back.
It took 2 days to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
so I
So-
introduced anti-Michael squares to shut him the fuck up. Because I was sick to
We were like,
goddamn
you were
death.
clocking it, but you didn't want to say anything.
I
We were
was
like,
sick to the
something,
back teeth
right?
of hearing it.
Hey, the only reason that was is because of the mind flayers, which otherwise their reach would have covered half of Multisora until I pointed out it's only about a mile they could cover instead.
5, yeah.
Mm.
5 miles, and it's like, oh, hang on, it's taken us like a day and a bit to cross this 5 miles that we're walking at 24 a day.
Yeah. But
Hang on a sec.
but you live and you learn, don't you?
we're gonna continue this argument
Off
off
conversation.
camera, yeah, because we've run over just an hour now, which is like perfect amount of time.
Anything else we want to squeak in before that's not anti-Michael squares?
I was gonna say because
Secret.
this covers right up to episode 36.
Secrets.
Secrets, yes.
Secrets are coming.
I mean, say episode 36 or 34 if Danny rechanges, or 35 if Danny rechanges everything.
Michael,
Danny!
shut
That's getting cut.
the fuck up.
Hey, people, if you can find it, have a look for episode 33, is all I'm saying.
Mm.
It's the Easter egg episode. Find it.
Anyway,
Follow this hidden link to gametheory.merch or
but
whatever.
for those that are the cool kids that are watching this not long after it gets put on YouTube, you'll be looking forward to the next episode on the 30th of October. Following that is the special.
Saturday.
Yes, Liam.
Saturday.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have a
Liam.
calendar. I know what day it is.
Following that,
Yeah.
we're going to be having on Halloween night itself a special Halloween one-shot featuring most of the people in this call and a couple of others.
Bye.
And it's
Hello.
going to be fucking good. So I will see you guys there, hopefully. Thank you for watching, everyone. And join us soon.
Bye.
Try.
Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.